This is college algebra work for April 23rd, Unit 4, Section 2, Problems 1 through 11. We are finding the zeros or the x's or the x-intercepts. Okay, it's not hard, but yet it takes a lot of explanation of what we do. Like number 1, and please join a Zoom meeting if you are not understanding this. Monday through Thursday at 11 a.m. Number 1, x cubed minus 7x squared plus 15x minus 9 equals 0 would have 3 zeros. Number 2, x cubed plus 6x squared plus 11x plus 6 has 3 zeros. But all 3 of the zeros are going to be negative because you look at the original equation. There are no sign changes. Those sign changes tell you how many positive roots there's going to be. Since there's no sign changes, all of the roots are going to be negative. Now, how do we find what possible roots we can try? We put the last number, 6, over the first coefficient, 1. So 6 over 1. And then we take all the possibilities that go into 6 and 1. The things that go into 6 are 6, 3, 2, and 1. Over the possibilities that go into 1. Well, the only thing on 1 is 1. So our possible answers are all of these things, except we don't have any positive of them this time. So the only ones we have to try are -1, -2, -3, and -6. How do we try them? We put them in synthetic division into the numbers from here, 1, 6, 11, and 6. 1, 6, 11, and 6. So I'm going to start off with -1 on 1, 6, 11, and 6. I work synthetic division, and if it comes out to 0, that means it worked. So -1 is my first answer. And that means I'm left with 1, 5, and 6, meaning x squared plus 5x plus 6, which will factor to x plus 3 times x plus 2. And my answers from that are -3 and -2. So -3, -2, and -1 are my 3 answers. Number 4, 4x cubed plus 0x squared minus 8x plus 8 has, okay, from here, positive to negative, 1 sign change, and from negative to positive, a 2nd sign change. So that means 2 of my 3 answers are positive. 2 of my 3 are positive. I put this number 8 over the 1 that leads everything out. The possible factors of 8 are listed there, 8, 4, 2, and 1. The possible factors of 1 are just 1. So I'm going to start out with number 1 because I like to start small. I don't want to start out with 8 or something. But remember, 2 of them are positive. So I try 1 in here. It does not come out to 0. So 1 is not an answer. So I move on to the next one. On 1, 0, -8, and 8. I try 2. It does come out to 0. So I found my first answer, 2. My first answer is 2. Then what is left? X squared plus 2x minus 4. I stick in the quadratic formula and I find my other 2 answers. -1 plus or minus square root of 5. Number 6, 2x cubed minus 17x squared plus 36 minus x minus 14. Positive to negative, 1 sign change. Negative to positive, 2nd sign change. Positive to negative, 3rd sign change. So 3 sign changes, so all my zeros are positive. Then I put 14 over 2. Things that go into 14 are listed here, over the things that go into 2, and when you take all of those out, like 14 over 2 is 7. So don't need to write that. 14 over 1 is a possible answer. 7 over 2 is a possible answer. 7 over 1 is a possible answer. 2 over 2, which is 1, is a possible answer. 2 over 1 is a possible answer of 2. And then 1 over 2 and 1 over 1. Try these, but I'm only going to try the positive ones. I try 1 on 2, negative 17, 36, and negative 14. No, it doesn't work. Then I try 1/2, and it does work. So that leaves me with 2x squared minus 16x plus 28. Remember, take a common factor out. Leaves me x squared minus 8x plus 14. And then I worked out with the quadratic formula. 4 plus or minus square root of 2. 4 plus or minus square root of 2. Then, number 8, 18x cubed plus 21x squared plus 8x plus 1. No sign changes, is there? They're all positive. So there's no positive roots. They're all negative. I put the 1 over 18. The only things that go into 1 are 1. The things that go into 18 are listed here. So those give my possibilities right over here. All of those are possible answers. I start out negative 1. Didn't give me a 0. So no, it's not an answer. Then I move on to the next one. Negative 1/2 does give me a 0. Then I'm left with this. 18x squared plus 12x plus 2. Take a 2 out. I'm left with 9x squared plus 6x plus 1. If you want, use the quadratic formula, but it is factorable. So negative 1/3 and negative 1/3, along with the negative 1/2. Number 10, 18, this problem here. 1 sign change, 2, 3. So all of them, 3 sign changes, so all of my answers are positive. I put the 2 over 18, work out the possible things that go into those, and here's a list, I hope a pretty complete list of all the possibilities that are positive by using these numbers. So again, I start with 1. Comes out to 2 down here. Does not work, so I jump to 1/2. 1/2 does give me a 0. Then I have this left, 18x squared minus 18x plus 4. Take a 2 out of it, and I'm left with this. Either quadratic formula on 9x squared minus 9x plus 2, or it does factor, as I've shown here. 1/3 and 2/3 and 1/2 are my answers. And then I've done one more for you, number 11, so that you get the ideas of what we're doing here. Number 11, there is only one sign change. First 2 are positive, last 2 are negative. So 1 change from positive to negative. So 1 positive root, the other 2 would be negative. I put this 1 over the 3, and that means plus or minus 1 over 3. So I could try 1/3 and 1, or negative 1/3 and negative 1. Well, again, I try 1. Does not work. So I try 1/3. It does work. And I'm left with 3x squared plus 12x plus 3. I take a 3 out of that, the common factor. X squared plus 4x plus 1 is left. I have to use the quadratic formula, as shown here. My other 2 answers, besides 1/3, are negative 2 plus or minus radical 3.